Good morning, everyone. Oh, look at the deer. You see the deer? You see them walking down the street? They're not coming over here today. You are not eating. Can you guys see them? You are not eating my hostas. Let me see if you guys can see them. You're not eating my hostas today. Mama, take your little twinnies. It's nice you had twins, but you're not feeding them in my yard. Little Missy. I see you. I see you. Probably already had my hostas. Let me check. You know, guys, I look down the street and I never see anyone else's hostas eaten up. See them across the street. Carol has them. I know maybe I don't see anybody's hostas eaten up because they're gone, right? But that was the deer little family, twinnies. Oh, look, 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 look. While we were doing that, look what happened. Look what happened over here, guys. The sun is coming up. And oh, the rays from it. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look at that. I'm about a half hour late. Uh, I just couldn't fall asleep again, and then when I did was when the sun came up. So I'm here now. um, maybe a lot of you are going out to church right now, or something like that for a Sunday. But there is, I didn't think that the sun was going to show its face again. But yesterday turned out to be a very, very nice day. It sure did. Um, it was beautiful. And I'm thinking about, now this isn't sketched in, you know, blood or anything here. But I was thinking about how I do the sunrise with Sally, if I could try to do a couple times a week the sunset with Sally. I know. This is in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I do this every morning. We have a little prayer and we talk about things. And then we just talk about other things. But I'm usually doing around right when the sun comes up. If there wasn't anything this morning, then it was one of those mornings where I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find my cat. I didn't know if he got out. Oh, but here I am. I'm here now. Thank you so much. And thank you for hitting that like. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the little hearts. I love that. Um, since I'm late, I guess we'll let you guys get going on your Sunday here. Let's see. Let me find the reading for today. I'm just gonna flip my book. I have a different book that came, the monthly one that came in the mail. I'm just gonna flip it around here. Let's see. Um, I can't believe it's already July 20th. Can you guys believe that? Remember when I said after the 4th of July, it just flies by? Hey, I'm a poet and didn't even know it. And I'm half asleep. After the 4th of July, it always flies by. I don't know, maybe somebody else has that on there. Uh, took out ownership of that. Um, okay, so let me see. I want to see something. I want to put my finger in here and find something good here. Um, okay, here I'm just putting my finger in this one, but I guess we'll just go with them. About this topic, but we'll see. Thanks for hitting that like button. Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm Molly Gagan. I just woke up. I can't believe I fell asleep. I actually got 4 hours hours of sleep today. I cannot believe that. I usually get 2 every day. That's all I get. But anyway, that's enough about me. All right. If anybody else is there, wants to say hi, go ahead. I'm not gonna. Well, I will talk a lot to you. Um, but thank you for hitting the like button, guys. I really appreciate that. I'm building a community on here, and I'm not a popularity contest, but anyone who subscribes, I really appreciate them being there and being here. Um, but I'm not one of those people who's gonna beg you for subscriptions, or it's just something I needed for myself, for a community. I needed a community because I retired and I used to teach kindergarten, and that's a little background on me because I just missed the kiddos and I wanted people to talk to. So, all right. Anyway, um, it's the topic on this one is the theme is surrender. Spiritual surrender is my path to peace. It's natural to have ideas and preferences about how things should be and to do towards, and to work towards the results I want. But I can exhaust myself if I attempt to exert control over my life circumstances. In fact, the more I try, the less control I have. Releasing the illusion of control, I practice spiritual surrender, so much more than giving up. Surrendering my efforts and my hopes to the divine within me is an act of empowerment. It means living my faith that God is in and through all things. It means entrusting that there are outcomes better than the ones I have imagined. I surrender to God's peace and perfection within me. I give I give up trying to control outcomes and relax, welcoming serendipity and ease. Surrender is the way. My child, give me your heart and let your eyes observe my ways. It's from Proverbs 23:26. This, this, I'm sorry, I read that kind of strange today because I'm pretty good at, reading pretty fluently. But I was stumbling all through this because I was like, when I saw that I put my finger in this topic, I was like, oh, what am I going to talk about with this? But oh my goodness, I don't know about you, but God was talking to me because I am one that has to, in my own life, trying to have control over things. Okay, I got to make sure this happens for them. And I worry, and then I didn't give surrender the power or the control to God, I'm just like, I'll probably read this again whenever I'm done on here. But it says, I surrender to God's peace and perfection within me. I give up trying to control outcomes and relax. I need to learn that word, relax. Um, Welcoming serendipity and ease. Surrender is the way. Oh boy, I need to work on that. How many of you have trouble with that? I don't try to control anybody's lives. It's just like the outcomes of something, um, I don't know. I just like if I want to I want somebody to get a job and they really, really want it and I'm praying for it and praying for it and I'm doing everything I can to help them get a job. Or I can't even think of anything right now, but boy, God took my face in his hands and looked me right in the eye here and says, girl, you need to give up trying to control outcomes and relax. I really feel that. I don't know how many of you believe that, things happen and then it's a part of your life. When I used to attend Mass, like the homily, those of you that are Catholic, that's when the priest speaks about things that have to do with the readings and your own personal life. My husband and I would just look at each other like, how did he know that? It would always be something about please, please write in English because that's the only language I know because I'm in America. So I don't have any of the other kind of language. I don't even know what that is. But thank you. Um, but just, I don't know. It was always about like something, like it was something that had to do with, I got meaning out of it. How about that? That's what I'm trying to say. I got meaning out of it whenever I would hear the homily. But hopefully, a lot of days of the week, that's what you guys have. Um, when you hear some things around, if you go to a morning, um, some people go to a daily mass, or even listening to this. So that's one of my wishes is that you, um, okay, Chicago West. I'm not sure what you're doing, but this is a religious station here, and I'm not dealing with that. Okay, there we go. Okay, good morning, Sheridan. Um, that was the first time I ever had trolls on my. I mean, God has really blessed me with not having to deal with things like that. I don't know. I don't know why people have to interrupt, especially something we're talking about, religion and stuff, and we're trying to put our hearts into a good place, and then hatred comes into it. I just don't understand that, and I'm sorry for that, people. Um, so, what was I saying about the being in control? How many of you, if you want to chime in, how many of you like feel like you have to give up and surrender too, because like you're trying to be in control of things, and like you ask God for something, and then you just don't have patience. Um, and so, okay, what does that have to do with what we're doing, honey? I'm glad you're listening to that. Um, yeah, I think it's okay to ignore those people. Yeah, none of my moderators are here, so anyway, thank you for saying that. Mike the Bike Dasher. Hi, Mike. How are ya? I have Sheridan here, and there's some other people, but I just had my first troll, and that was very disturbing to me. But Sheridan here told me just ignore them, um, and that means a lot to me, Sheridan. But Mike is a really, really good friend of mine. He's a workaholic, and he's a great guy, though. So, Mike, the topic today was surrendering. I don't know if you were here for the reading thing, but it really hit home for me because um, it hit home for me because at the last part it says, I surrender to God's peace and perfection within me. I give up trying to control outcomes and relax, welcoming serendipity and ease. Surrender is the way. And like those other readings we had where it said, God's telling us, take my hand and I'll guide you the way. Mike says, I'm good, woke up around 5 a.m., having coffee and finishing editing a video before I head out to work. How are you? Oh, yesterday, I don't know if you saw on my wall, um, it was a teaser for this video that I've been working on with my husband. And if you'll see on my wall, there's a picture of him in a blonde wig. And we've been working on this, and I hope everybody thinks it's funny, but yeah, I was working on that yesterday, but I have to edit that today too, because you said you were editing. But I thought I put it on Premiere and it didn't go up. You know how sometimes you see people saying it says it's going to premiere? Yeah, so I don't know. So I might have to upload it again. So I don't know. But now when I was looking at the deer, if you see the rehash of this one, I was looking at the mama deer with her twins. You know how the deer always eating my hostas, and she came with twins, but she was across the street. And then when I put the camera back over here where the sunrise is, it wasn't cloudy anymore. It was like it is now. I, I told Daryl I'm gonna have to, my husband, that I'm gonna have to find another spot to do this because it's just right behind her tree. I know I'm not supposed to mention the tree. Um, but also I was thinking like of doing like a sunset with Sally, but I don't know if I'm putting too much on my plate. So yeah, I'm having my coffee. The Hubs always gets me coffee in the morning, um, before he goes to work, but on the weekend it's my job. But he doesn't usually get up until 11 o'clock or something because he sleeps in. That's fine with me. But yeah, that reading, like when I first put my finger chose that page, I was like, oh no. But it's just that you have to spiritually, and that's the path to peace. Boy, everybody wants to have peace in their life, don't you? I mean, there's so much chaos in the world. And that's why I'm doing this Sunrise with Sally because nobody has touched my day yet. It's just a brand new day. And um, church and somebody cuts you off, right? That's what my mom used to laugh about, you know. Um, but yeah, it's like brand new. And yesterday, good morning, Paula. How are you today, honey? Um, but it's a brand new day, and um, I don't know. It's just yesterday turned out to be. It was so gloomy during my whole. A little bit the sun came out, but a whole beautiful day yesterday. Oh, it was so humid though. Like if you went outside, you put a grocery bag over your head, just tied it up there, and you could just sweat. Um, so Paula, I was talking about I moved the camera over to show the mama deer and her twins, because she's probably out. You know, she was probably here earlier to eat my hostas, what's left of them, and I turned the camera back, and there was the sunrise. It's so beautiful. Even with the clouds, you gotta find beauty in everything. But hey, Paula, Paula has a new channel called Mrs. Paula Does Bible Study. I hope I have that right, Paula. And what time is your Bible study this morning? Don't tell me I missed it. I hope I didn't miss it because I think I missed Tracy's live um, um, on Thursday, I think it was. I don't know what happened. I have the alarm set. Um, yeah, that makes me mad. But I watched it this morning. So anyway, what time is your other channel, the Bible study? Oh, there goes it's moving. Can you guys see the clouds moving? They're just moving. I can't, I'm trying, you know how I always look at the clouds to see pictures and stuff. Oh man, they are moving. Look how fast that's moving. I don't know if you can see that through the camera. Oh my goodness, those clouds are like, I hope it's not a storm. Oh, here comes Mama Deer back. There she comes, or maybe she didn't leave. She's across the way there. Can you guys see that? Let me see if I turn it over this way. Mm. Do you see her over there munching? Right by the house across the street, right where the yellow is from their brick. Do you see her over there? Right past my flag. There she is. Her babies are right there behind her. Oh, she's eating that bush. I wonder what kind of bush that is. I hope I don't have one of those bushes. She is tearing that up. Can you guys see that? She's tearing that baby up. Oh. You know, deer are beautiful, but they are just almost as bad as like squirrels and chipmunks. I have a thing about chipmunks too, because my other house that I lived in this area before I moved to Idaho, I had these, all of my bulbs planted, my tulips and my daffodils. And one year they weren't coming up, and I was like, what is going on here? Well, here I saw where they were digging them, and they took all of my bulbs, those little chipmunks. And I had trouble with those chipmunks too in another way. My cat would sit on the windowsill, and they would come right on the windowsill. I'm not kidding you. And would, like, get up on the window and tease them. And I said, if I crack this window open, Mr. Chipmunk, you're going to be. But I was like, wow. Thank you. That's my husband loves bald eagle, everything bald eagle. So um yeah, I know yours is recorded, but like, is there a certain time you put it up that people can watch it? I know, like, some people have like a premiere and then it comes on at a certain time. Sheridan, I love that. You planted a chipmunk salad bar. Yeah. I I have hostas in my side backyard there, where the white fence is, and I planted all that stuff. Do you know that they jump the? I have like not that white fence in the back of the yard. I have like chicken wire. You know that, I don't know what kind of wire it is. But they jump that, and one time the baby deer got stuck in the yard, the other side of my house, in the little yard, and the dogs were out there barking away, and they had this little baby deer trapped, cornered, and it was a young one. It was more early spring when they were first born, and had the whole thing trapped in there. I'm like, how the heck am I supposed to get this thing out of here? Um, because there's a fence. I don't even know how it got in. There's a lot of times too, we think that the yard is secure, and they will find a way to get under that chicken wire. Basset hounds. I have 3 basset hounds, because their basset hound nose gets them in trouble. They smell everything and anything. And this past, when was it? Probably around April, May. I guess a cat took residence on my back porch, the one that Daryl's closing in, and it had kittens, and I had no idea, because I haven't been back there because he's working on, his construction's back there. So they're barking away and barking away. Well, they did this another time. They did it another time. A bunny rabbit decided to put her babies in um, an area she made. Oh, here comes the deer. Um, in an area where the hostas, and they were barking and barking, and Levi came in the house. This is a true story. Levi came in the house, and I said to my husband, I said, "Hun, Levi has something." He goes, "Oh, he just has a squeaky toy. We were playing." I said, "No, I don't think that that he has a squeaky toy. Here, he had a live bunny rabbit in his mouth." So yeah. Um, it sounded like a squeaky toy because he wasn't hurting it. He was just carrying it in his mouth. Like, here's my little baby. um, but Daryl opened his mouth and says, "There's a baby bunny in there." I said, "I told you that wasn't one of his toys," but it sounded like one. It really did. But anyhow, that baby deer, back to that story, oh, it's wandering to the road. I hope the car doesn't come by and hit that little deer. Can you guys see them? Can you see the deer? Oh, maybe I should. They're across the street, and the one little baby is, I don't think, it still has some of its white spots. Oh, she's running back to mama. But I don't even know. I took the dogs in, and by the time I got back, it was gone. So hopefully made its way back to Mama. So it was a tiny little thing too, but I don't know how they get in there. But I just don't have the money to put that around the rest of the yard. So, what are your plans today, guys? Does anybody have any plans? Um, it's Sunday. Is it let's sleep late, pull the covers over our head, and don't want to take on the day? That's what my husband does on Sunday. But I am. I have. I don't know if anybody watches Tracy on Life in the Wild West. I believe that's right. But Wild is spelled WILDE. Life in the Wild West. She painted her. She had them painted the fronts of her steps, different colors, but they were more of a pastel. And then she just redid them. And I was like, Tracy, I always wanted to do that. I always did, and I wanted to put like Bible verses or something on the front of the steps. Painted, but I know I have a Cricut machine that I haven't learned how to use yet. But I found I'm trying to experiment because I was gonna paint. I got all the paint that Tracy told me to get and everything, but then I saw Michaels was having a sale online, and I bought the pretty like the primary colors. Hi Donna, is that how you say it? I found the real pretty colors of the vinyl, and it's so I'll have to do a video on it because I haven't started it yet. But I'm doing an experiment to see if that stays. Because if we decide to sell the house, and I'd have to get all that paint off of there or cover it up. So that's just, I'm going to try that out and see if that works. And I think that would be easier to clean it too with the dogs shaking their heads all the time because those ears always have something attached to them. I don't know if you have a long floppy eared dog. When they drink water, there's water on it. When there's food on it. But I saw online that they have these little headbands for them to hold their ears back. But I'm not sure that my guys will do that. So I could probably even make my own, just buy a headband and put it on them, the stretchy kind. And then this other people are selling like a handkerchief, like a do rag or whatever you call it where you live, on the head, and it holds the ears back. So Danae, what are you doing today? Do you have anything planned? Are you going to services or I'm not sure what time it is there. It's almost 7 o'clock here. Um, and thank you for hitting the like, guys. I really appreciate that. Um, well, this deer, or he is wandering away from Mama. I hope you guys can see those little guys. But as long as they stay over there. Mama deer was just chomping up the neighbor over there, um, bush, hedges or whatever. But no one lives in that house. They keep it real nice and everything, but no one, I've lived here 6 years, and I've never seen anyone live there. He comes over, older guy comes over and cuts the grass and everything, and and then that's it. So, it's pretty quiet here. If I do this time of day, um, during the week, it would be very noisy from people leaving for, there's my neighbor leaving for her walk. Um, it would be more noisy. Good morning. See the the twin deer?
Yeah, I know. They were laying in my backyard this morning.
Oh, they ate my nice pasta.
They eat all my bird seed. I have it up high, and they get up there on their two hind legs and they eat it. They're hungry, I guess.
Yeah, there's so much to eat though.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my neighbor. She said that the deer go up on their hind legs and eat her birds from the bird feeder. They don't get my bird feeder. My bird feeder is right outside the window for Mister to watch Mister's my cat, to watch the birds. He loves it. In fact, when I edit this, you know how loud the birds are on here? Um, Mister's sitting right next to the computer. He's like, and then when I put Cat TV on, which is a YouTube channel called Cat TV, if they have like birds and things like that, and this little feeding thing, and the cats. Even my 15-year-old cat loves that station. Yep, gets his attention. So get them a little bit of stimulation, in their lives. So, um, well, at least it's good to know. Not that I want any harm on my neighbor, but that the deer aren't just invading me. But I'd rather them eat my bird seed than my hostas. So, because I spend a lot of time planting them and everything. So, anybody else have anything that's going on? Only one person left here? Okay. I don't know if you want to talk. But I have no problem. You stop in, say hi. I'd love to say hi to you. We had some sun peeking through there, but the clouds, I don't know if you can see, the clouds are moving very quickly. So if you want to watch the replay, you can see it. I had turned the camera over to see these deer. I don't know if you can still see them. My mama and her twins. Oh, they do still have their little spots on there. And then I turned the camera back to where the sunrise is usually, and it was, there was a sun. So, but I'm glad the deer are not in my yard. Um, so today, I guess I'll tell what I'm doing today. I have been working on a video, and on my wall there is a like a teaser, like stay tuned for this, and it has a picture of my husband with a yellow, like a page boy cut wig. And my husband's bald, so if you didn't know that. So he's wearing this wig, and there's a picture of him in the background, and I have like a towel over my head peeking out. So it is, we've been working on it, so I don't know if it's just something we did together, and it was really fun. But even if nobody wants to watch it, it's okay with me, because we had a heck of a time doing that. We had so much fun laughing. And then I decided to add the bloopers at the end, because they are just, um, they're too funny to let go. Just leave them on, or delete them. So I put them on there. So anyway, that's, I have to finish that, and then I have to send a letter out, because on my channel we're doing a challenge called Project Me, Healthier Lifestyle, Happier Me, and I have about, I don't know, a handful, no, probably two handfuls. It's like 10 people, 12 people doing the challenge, and today or tomorrow's check-in day, because it'll be 1 week, be the start of the new week tomorrow. So it's not like a diet or anything. It's just like having a healthier lifestyle. If they want to follow one, they can. But the purpose of this Project Me is to have self-care time, and you know um, go outside in the morning for 10 minutes, just to sit in the fresh air, or see the sunshine or something, just not being in the house all the time. And then I told them they needed to try to get 30 minutes of exercise. It could be 15 minutes in the morning or 15 minutes in the afternoon. It could be indoor, outdoor. um, and what else? Oh, drinking the water, 8-ounce glasses of water, and try to get your sleep. And what else? And I think it's always good to, when you're trying to lose weight, even if it isn't a diet, to, if you bite it, you write it. In other words, if you're eating something, you have to write it. So that makes you have more ownership of what you're putting in, when you're, using to, for nutrition. Sometimes the things that we do eat are not nutritious. Because it's so much quicker. And a lot of things, healthy foods today are just so expensive. Well, everything is expensive. But I've been going over to Aldi. I don't know if you have an Aldi, in ALDI, store in your neighborhood, but I don't know if you know this, but Aldi is um, a knockoff of Trader Joe. Trader Joe's owns Aldi, and I believe in my heart that that's why they have such nice produce at Aldi. and that's where I usually get my produce, at Aldi, and they have some nice little salads and things like that to send in my husband's lunch if I don't have time to make the things for his lunch, because I try to make him have, um, instead of like him getting out of the vending machine a bag of chips and a soda, you know, things like that. So that's what the Project Me is. And if you want to know any more, just let me know and I will let you. Anybody can join it, um, whether you're a member or not. I don't hold anything like that. So hey, thanks for hitting. Wow, you guys hitting the like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. Um, my channel is more about community. I don't know if you want to hear anything about that. Um, but I mean, it'd be great to get monetized. I mean, everybody, that's their dream. But for right now, I just like the way it is in my small community because I actually know people, either by their channel name or their real name. And if I know both, then you must be pretty special. I don't know. It's hard to remember all that because I'm old. But I want this community because I know my people by first name, and I know things about their lives, and I know their trials and tribulations, and I know some of their families and family members and stuff like that. And then the ones that want to open up, I don't force anybody to. But as you can see, I'm very social, and I can talk to anybody, and I can talk to myself if nobody wants to add to the conversation. So I just want this channel to be that, and it was something that I started, and um, I poked a little fun at the algorithms and all that stuff because guys, don't stress out over this stuff. I know you want to get monetized, but try manifesting what you want in a different way. Just like the reading for today was about surrender. Have fun in the process of moving your way up, and if it is to be, then it will. Okay. you know I don't know. It's kind of like rolling the dice with YouTube. Some make it and some don't. What do they have? I don't know. It might be their personality. It might be they have charisma. It might be that people love their personality. I mean, I really think it's that, but I don't think that I don't know. People are just getting themselves all worked up and paying money for people to help them with their channel and stuff. And I'm all about learning new things and from people and stuff like that. But I just really like community for now. I just really need that in my life. So I was so used to being a kindergarten teacher with the kids, the commotion from them and their parents, and having interaction with the teachers, and everything. I don't have that here because I'm by myself here most of the day until my husband comes home, and I have the dogs, of course. But it's just community, and if I get monetized, it's fine. And you know what? If I do, I had fun along the way, because I do this in the mornings, and I do other videos, and I do my thing called Shits and Giggles. That's SHITZ, Shits and Giggles, and I just do silly stuff because being in kindergarten for over 20 years really, I guess I'm immature. I don't know. I just don't want to have to put on a persona that I'm somebody else like I did when I was teaching. And I just want to be me right now. So I'm 60 years old, and I just turned 60 almost a month ago, and I have a different perspective, a different outlook on life now. So I don't have to be well dressed every day. If I want to put on a pair of sweats, I can do that. If I want to wear something that mismatches, I can do that. When I was in school, I taught in a parochial school, and there's no sleeveless things. I mean, there's so many rules, and no open toe shoes, which I find is really odd. I mean, you always had to have your toes covered, but I don't know. I don't have to listen to anybody because I really have trouble with authority. Um, so maybe that's why I have to surrender to God, because He's the biggest authority, isn't He? He's like, the head honcho of everything. And I talk to God all day. And because everything that you ask for God, you're not going to get right away, right? It's all in His time. And His time may be 5 years, where it's 5 years our time seems like 5 minutes His time. So some people just give up on God and they pray for something really hard and they don't get it, like we do Amazon, 1 or 2 day delivery. It's not like that with God. You have to have patience, and um, it's hard sometimes because we got so spoiled getting everything here now. I have an example. I was talking about this the other day. We used to be, when you took photographs with your camera, you had to take it to a place that develops film. You take the film out, either 35 millimeter or what they had, like 126 film, and I don't know, some other film. And you have to mail it away to get the pictures, or they had this little photo hut. I think it was Fuju. I don't know if anybody's here that's my age, but it was a little photo hut. I don't even know how the person fit in there. It was so tiny. And you would drive by and give them the little thing. You filled out this thing, and with your name and address, and you go by there, and a week later, maybe 2 weeks, you'll get your photographs back. And I don't even think they had where people can get like 5x7s, 8x10s, and things like that. I think that it was just all just regular prints. And I think they were small too. They were square, because I looking at as I'm decluttering the garage with all the storage and stuff in the back room. I found photos um, that were just square. I don't even know what size that would be, like a 3x3 or maybe a 4x4. Not that big. So, but I've been collecting all of the photos that I find here, there, and everywhere, and I've been putting them in this. Well, I had them in this box. Then it graduated to a bigger, like a bin kind of thing, like one of those, I don't know, 12x8 little bin thing, little container. And now you would see this bin that I have, so filled with pictures. Now I given all the pictures of my nieces and nephews and all that. Because my sister didn't really take pictures of the kids because they were always at my house. She has 8 kids, and whenever they had a project, they would say, "Mama Sal," except Aunt Sally, they call me Mama Sal. But Mama Sal, do you have pictures that I can make my family tree or something like that? So they would go through the bin and get what they wanted. But I have so many pictures now, and I just don't know what to do with them, because my 2 sons, when they graduated, and whenever I continued it after they did, but when they moved out, when they were getting married, I handed them each had their own photo album to take with them. And then they also had the book that I kept the journal when I was pregnant with them, and like their first couple years of life. Now Matthew's, I don't think is much detailed as my older son Daryl's, because I had my hands full with Daryl. Maddie was an easy child. It was Daryl. He was a handful. Oh, he was very stubborn. He wasn't bad. He was stubborn. Um, the one time we were going up to mass, I mean, we were at mass and we are going to communion, and I always sat either in the back or what we have like a cry room where you take kids, and it's soundproof. So I'm taking him up. I have his hand. We're going up to communion, and you go up, you get communion, and then you come back and you sit in your seat. Well, he let go of my hand, and I thought, okay, he let go of my hand. No, Daryl decides that he is going to where the kneelers are, where people kneel. He goes underneath there and was laughing his head off, and people were praying and stuff. Oh, he got out of control. And I thought, you know what? I am just going to leave him there. We're in church. No one's going to steal him. Besides, if they steal him, they bring him back. But I said, oh my gosh. And I just kept walking. And I don't even think my husband went after him. I was just so embarrassed. Why what would possess him to do that? I mean, oh, anyways. Am I frozen or anything, guys? I don't have anybody interacting here. Popping in a Bible. Oh, okay. Um, so Paul is there, so I know that something's happening here. The one day it was froze up and I didn't know, and then it was skipping, and then sometimes my audio is bad, and I forgot that darn microphone again that Anthony, aka Tony, told me to get, and I have it. It's all charged, but I went in to get that tripod because usually I keep the tripod on the porch so I don't have to interrupt the dogs. But Hobbs is here today, so they probably jumped in bed with him and are getting their poodles because, they don't get any attention here. I'm kidding. Um, so I guess the sunrise is going over those dark clouds. I haven't checked the forecast, so um, thinking that's about it. So, Paula, are you getting ready to go to your services? It's like 7:15. Do you go to an early service? I forgot about my coffee. It's probably cold. Does anybody else have a ritual on Sunday? Go out to breakfast with the fam or anything like that? I knew people, I had a kid in my class. He had 10 siblings, and yeah, same mom and dad. And they would do so much together, and they always um, took care of one another. The kids they never ever would complain, oh, mom, I don't want to watch the baby or anything. Paula says, I'm here. Sunday school is at 9:30, preaching at 10:30. So when is your Bible study broadcast? Is it on Sundays? I have an alarm on my phone. Um, so I don't know. Just listening to the birds for a second here. They're so loud. And I never noticed the birds until someone said that when I started doing a sunrise with Sally. Um, okay, Paula. Sometimes you just gotta knock on my head, McFly, McFly, from Back to the Future, and so I can get what you're trying to say. I thought it was a Sunday thing, but or Wednesday because we have Bible study, we have Mass, and then we have Wednesday Bible study to put a little perspective into studying the Bible. So those birds, just listen to those birds. They're so loud. And my dogs aren't crying in the background. Because I had to go back in to get the tripod because we were using it for that video. And I forgot to put it back out here. So, they're really loud. And I guess the deer went home. I always thought that the deer didn't go out to the street during the day. They kind of stayed in the forest. I've seen a lot of deer out in the open fields and in the yard. I mean, these deer, they have a whole herd. I guess it's a herd of deer would come down the middle of the street, like a gang or in a movie, strutting their stuff down the street. But and they're like they're not scared. Like if you go up to them, you don't get too close, they'll run off. But they're so used to being around, you know, um, neighborhoods, and I guess these are the lazy deer because they're the ones that are taking bird seed and hostas. Because in the wilderness they have to look for more. So, um, but the the background you see where the sunrise usually is, that's all hills. That's not mountains. Those are hills that all the the trees are growing on. The mountains are further up state from me. Um, just listening to the birds. I usually have time. I usually come out here at 4 a.m. and just listen. It's real quiet. The birds aren't out yet, okay? And then they start coming around 5 o'clock. You can hear them. Um, 5 o'clock they come out, and it's just a little bit, and then they get louder. Now, when I had the birds on my that made their nest in the ceiling fan every year, um, that was loud, and they would dart at me because they didn't want me near their babies. Now they build them in my ferns that I have hanging uh, from my porch. And I don't think they, when I watered them the other day, there was no nest this year. So I don't know, maybe because I'm always out here in the morning. So apparently it rained last night pretty hard. There's a lot of puddles on the street. I know I'm trying to find someone to cut the grass for Daryl because he just can't be doing it. Last time he nearly had a heart attack. And my husband had a stroke back in January. And I just, he tries to push it all the time. And um, um, the stroke came from a head injury he had at work. And he fell pretty hard and his head had a brain bleed. But he's recovering, but his memories aren't always good. And sometimes his personality is not the fun-loving guy that you like. And I'm always, Daryl and I were always, our relationship lasts 40 years because we always use humor. Sure, we get in little arguments once in a while, but my kids are like, you guys are always arguing, but it wasn't arguing. It was just the way, couples that are together um, talk. It's not that they disrespect each other. It's just, and things always were figured out. We never went to bed angry, you know. Um, but it was always, we were always a team because it wasn't, my money, your money. So if you get married, it should be like, in my opinion, my experience, it's our money, it's our household, it's our children, you know. Um, Granted that my kids were more, there's certain things that your kids go to their mom for, and there's certain kids that they go to their dad for. Uh, but I don't know. I do have a strong personality where also my kids knew that education was important to me. I mean, um, I went back to school as an adult and I had a family already, and it was very hard. But I had the support of my husband, um, and it was rough on me because I'm very centered with my children. Like I want to spend as much time as I can with them because years ago, this guy I knew, his name was Sam, not the Sam, my student, and he said, uh, we were deciding if we wanted to have kids, and he said, you always find the money somehow. Somehow you do. And this is back in the 80s, guys. And he says, and then when you have them, don't blink, because once you blink, they're grown. And God help me, that was so true. So I always wanted to spend as much time as I could with my kiddos. And we were a very close family. And I had a lot of activities here where the friends could come. We had a small pool, and then my sister's boyfriend fell against it. It's one of those little plastic 3-foot ones. He fell against the side of it, fooling around, and we had to get a new pool. So then we got a bigger pool. I think it was 15 foot by 4 foot. So this one was 4 feet deep because they were getting older and they like to dive after stuff and things and swim. And then when that one, we got an even bigger pool. We got a 27-foot pool, and they called it Lake Davis because it was so huge. It we had the room in the yard at that time, the house we were at, and everybody was at that pool. And we had to get the deck remade because the people that put up the pool, well, listen to this. I wasn't paying attention to them. I, let the workers go, and I, brought them lemonade and stuff out, and you know, being, nice to them and everything. They put the pool almost a foot away from the side of the pool, like the part of the deck. I mean, they put the deck almost um, a foot away from the where you get into the pool. And I said, when they told me to come out and check it when they were done, I said, "Excuse me, but how are we supposed to get in the pool? Are we supposed to take a running leap into the water, or what are we supposed to do here?" And they said, "Oh, we couldn't get any closer." I said, "You're like a foot away. I have little kids that come to this pool." So what my husband did, because it was like all one level, he made like a step kind of thing, like another like a he built it in so it looked nice where it blended in with the rest of it. So it was like a little step up, and then you could put stuff on there, and then go into the pool where the ladder was. And then we replaced the ladder with steps going into the pool. And it was so much nicer, but kids like to hang out by the steps and things like that. But we had actual steps that went into the pool, and it was so nice from that stupid ladder. I hated those ladders. But that's what I try to do to have my kids be more focused at home and everything. Um, but I mean, they had their sleepovers at other friends and stuff like that. But I just wanted to make sure that they had a good childhood and young adulthood. And for the most part, what I understand, they did. Um, Much more different than my life growing up. And that's another thing. Both my husband and I wanted them to have not spoiled. Well, Daryl is spoiled, but um, to have the things we didn't have. So, um, and money was limited because I wasn't working while I went to school full time. There's no way I could have worked and be a mom to make sure the kids got to school and home. My mom would help me with, getting the kids to school, and um, they were like, I don't know if you ever heard of Latchkey Kids. They had a key to get in and everything themselves. But if you want to laugh, when they were supposed to get ready to go to the bus stop, they watched certain cartoons. And when this one was over, they had to go, turn TV off and go to the bus stop. Because I caught a bus to Pittsburgh. I didn't have a car. So it was two buses. It was like an hour bus ride to get there and an hour bus ride to get home from school. So everybody had to make sacrifices while I was in school. So Maddie was in charge. My younger son, he's 3 years younger than his brother, was always in charge because he's so responsible. Even to this day, he's responsible. Um, and Daryl's my goof off kid. He just jokes around all the time. And that's, your children are so different from one another, just like, myself and my siblings are different. So, um, yeah, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but I told you I can talk. Nobody wants to, add in here. I have lots of things that I can talk about, but they might not do with the other thing that was before it. So I think while it's overcast this morning, I think I'm gonna get these dianthus in the ground. I got them at Walmart, and you know how Walmart doesn't give anything away free. They either throw it in the garbage or they try to sell it. So I bought these dianthus for I think they were $5, $3 a pot, and um, you can bring dianthus back. In fact, when my niece and I first picked out dianthus, um, they said they're only 1 year, you know, and they started coming up, and I started buying dianthus because dianthus are so pretty. They're more in the weed family, I think. I don't think they're really supposed to be flowers, but they're so pretty. People buy them, and like Gerber daisies and things like that. They're really pretty too. But I got to get those in the ground. I think I got 4 or 5 rose bushes at Walmart that were pretty much dead. They were pretty much sticks. But I would get the ones that had just a little bit of green, and I have them in the backyard, still in the little plastic thing they come in on the bottom. And you should see how big they are now. They are huge, and I got to get them out of there before they die. And I was thinking about putting another one in the front, because every year I would buy one rose bush when we moved here. So I bought 5 this year. They were like, I think they were $5 each. Some of the plants were $1, $3, and $5. But to get a rose bush for $5, and well, it was a dead rose bush, but now it isn't. I'll have to show you after I get them planted. But I was thinking, I don't know if anybody's gardener out there. What if I put some rose bushes near the hostas, so when the deer try to take them, I don't know. But when I was picking out those rose bushes, I had so many thorns stuck in my fingers and pricks from it. But um, that's what I'm gonna do. And I also got, they had geraniums. I'm gonna put in some other pots. I know it's late in the year, but they were dead, and you should see them now. They're real full because geraniums are pretty hardy, like the dianthus. And I bought a fern that goes in the ground because my dogs terrorize my other fern. They jump the little fence, the little, the little fence that goes around the yard, the wrought iron fence, and they would jump on it, and that's where they would go to the bathroom. And they killed that darn thing. I don't know why, what they had against that fern, but let's see what else. I have to plant that. And I bought something else too. I can't remember what it was. But I always try, since I'm older now, I'm always trying to buy the um, perennials, which are, the ones that come up the next year. Is that right? I'm so tired. I don't even know what I'm saying. I think the annuals are. I got it all screwed up probably. Um, so um, Miss Paula, Mrs. Paula. I was like, oh, why did it take you off of moderator? But that's your other station. So let me do that for you. Um, and there. Okay, there. I added you as a moderator for here. What we need on here is Susan, because she's quick. She goes on Mrs. Paula's lives, and when she has a lot of trolls and such on her channel, she's quick with that finger. I'm not so much because I'm slow on. I can't even type, so I try to use the microphone to type stuff, and then it does whatever it wants to say. And if you don't proofread it, you hit that send button like me, too quick to hit the send button, then it sends stuff that you didn't even mean to say. And it doesn't even sound like what you said. Um, so I have to use the microphone. Sometimes I wish it was on my computer too, because I got spoiled using the microphone all the time. So, but I guess I probably talked your ear off enough here. Let me see here. We've been on here. Oh yeah, we've been on here over an hour. So, and my battery's probably going dead. I have 2 different phones. I have my business phone and my other phone. But somehow, one more thing. Somehow, I know they can steal your 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 email address and such. But I got a thing for something for creators or something. They had my phone number, and I don't know how they got my phone number, but if anybody knows anything about that, let me know, because that's kind of odd. Because nobody really in my life knows that I have a YouTube channel. Well, my son does, but he's not interested. My younger son, he's just like, yeah. So whenever I have a new video or something funny, I tell him, go on my YouTube channel, but I don't think he really watches it. He's not interested. He has his own life, and when he gets home from work, he's exhausted. Um, he's head of a department in a credit union, and he has to make sure people have insurance and stuff on their cars when they get a car loan. And anyway, Going off on another tangent. Hey guys, have a wonderful day, and thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate it. And be on the look out for my video. I'm trying to get it up. I had it set up as a premiere for noon, but I don't see it on there. So I don't know if Paula knows when you have a premiere of something coming up, does it show up on there? You know, saying that it's going to show at this time, because I think I'm going to have to upload again. That's happened to me before. Um, with some videos and stuff. I thought it was on and it wasn't. So I already did it 3 times. So I'm just gonna put it on regular and put it on. But I hope you guys get a lot of shits and giggles from that. We put a lot of work into it, and then the bloopers at the end. I just couldn't delete them. I was like, I'm just gonna put these at the end. So, but it was my hubs and I together, and my girlfriend couldn't believe that I got him to wear a yellow wig, Mr. Manly Man. So anyway, that's that. And thank you, Paula. And you have a wonderful day. And yeah, love bloopers. um, yeah. So have a wonderful day. And I know it's going to clear up, even if it's a rainy day. You know, I just give glory to God that I'm alive another day and that I can even walk. Some days I can't even do that. So I love you all and have a wonderful one. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, and hopefully I'll be on time at 6 o'clock or before. But today it was just one of those days. I hope that part's over with. So God bless, and I'll see you when I see you.